This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
So I recently lied about something on my Instagram. I posted a photo of Diana. I said it was taken on the Sony A7 III, but it was actually taken on the Sony A7S III. And no one questioned the quality of the photo. And of course, there's always that one person to do so. Why is that? Let's talk about it. Captain Obvious here. Would I ever use the A7S III as my main photo camera? Absolutely not. But I do want to make a point really quickly before I talk about the A7S III for photography. I could have taken every image on my Instagram, every image, with the A7S III, and no one would be able to tell the difference. Because it's all about how you process your images and knowing the camera's limitations. If I had to use the A7S III, I would know that, look, I had to take the image as if that's the final product, because I won't be able to crop much in post.
One really important point that I forgot to mention was when you're resizing images for the web, like I resize my images to 2048 pixels, it doesn't matter if you started off with a 50 megapixel file or a 12 megapixel file, because it's pretty much impossible to tell the difference when you're looking at the image on social media.
So my experience using the Sony A7S III in the real world feels like any other Sony camera, except the ergonomics are better, like the A7R4. You have that beautiful electronic viewfinder that is probably the most beautiful electronic viewfinder I've ever looked at. The rear screen is nice to pinch to zoom and review your photos. You got the new menu system, but other than that, everything else felt the same to me. So I wasn't able to actually process my images the way I normally process them, because when a new camera comes out, Photoshop and Lightroom they don't have the profiles for the camera yet, so I'm forced to use like this Sony imaging software. I had to export a TIFF file from there, a low quality TIFF file that my photo looked gray almost. I exported it to Photoshop, so the file is even more degraded, right? So I can't really like tell you the image quality potential of this camera, and I was still able to manipulate the photo. This gray TIFF file is still able to manipulate it to look like a photo taken on my Sony A7 III shooting raw. It goes to show you that whatever you have, you make the best of it. If I had to use the Sony A7S III as my main camera, I could, because I know the limitations of it. I know that I can't crop, but my images would look no different on the internet to everyone. And that is the honest truth. It's great in low light. I shot some low light photos. I shot it, I think, in 12,000 ISO. Looks super good. But I personally, I wouldn't buy this camera just for low light photography. It's just not something. The A7 III comes really close to the A7S III in my testing. Buy this camera for video, but understand that you can still get quality images on this camera if you're posting on the internet. Hence my last Instagram post. That, my friends, is my best breakdown with no scripting, no planning. This is just me talking to you. This is my best breakdown of the A7S III when used for photography. That's me keeping it real. It's about how you process your images rather than how many megapixels you have, because you can have the most megapixels in the world and your images still look mediocre on the internet, okay? You can take the A7S III, put some good glass on it, know what you're doing, and you can kill it on the internet. That's just the truth. From me and Lily, thank you so much for watching. And now a message from our sponsor for today, and that is Squarespace. If you are looking for a website, blog, or an online store, make sure to check out Squarespace. I have been using Squarespace for years, and I think every photographer needs to have a website, because if Instagram disappears tomorrow, your website's always gonna be there. You don't need to hire a friend to make your website. It's so easy to use, and if you wanna change your templates, it's a click of a button and you can change the layout of your website when you get bored of it. Also, if you wanna start an e-commerce store, you wanna sell some things on the internet, like I do, I sell my presets and my retouching tutorials. I make a nice little side income with that. Squarespace can host your store, and you can control and you can see your analytics from your phone. It's so easy to use. Check it out. Use the coupon code Manny. You will get 10% off your first purchase. I'm gonna be posting like 5 videos these next 2 weeks. A7S III, Canon R5 stuff. Let's get it.